Throughout the years, the role-playing game genre has endeared itself to millions. Going as far back as the release of the famous tabletop game Dungeons & Dragons in 1974, these games focus on character growth and epic quests in well-imagined and oftentimes rich in lore fantasy worlds. Worlds packed with towns and cities full of people who may aid you on your journey, or offer you quests for rewards. You will often find yourself wandering dangerous dungeons filled with both fearsome monsters and valuable treasures alike, all while unraveling an epic tale. Stories of tragedy, love, and triumph await you in these worlds with endless possibility. There have been numerous role-playing games that have gone on to become absolutely legendary, with games like the Elder Scrolls series and Final Fantasy series selling millions of copies worldwide, even both having successful MMORPG entries in their storied franchises. In recent times, the art of the remake in media has been more prevalent than ever, and in video games, it's no exception. But there are some games that fans have clamored for modernized versions of for years, from reasons as simple as they have outdated mechanics that they would like to see improved upon, or they just want to be able to see these amazing characters and stories painted with beautiful modern HD graphics, or a mix of many of those types of reasons. This is Wu-Tai Clan Gaming, and today I am giving you my top 5 RPG games I would love to see modern remakes of. But before we get started, I'd like to ask you to click that subscribe button, because it goes a long way and helps me out way more than you know. And you won't miss another video like this in the future. So without any further ado, let's get to the video. Number 5. The Dot Hack series for PlayStation 2. I was not an avid watcher of the Dot Hack anime. As a matter of fact, I never really watched it at all. I was more into shows like Inuyasha, Fooly Cooly, Case Closed, Big O, and Cowboy Bebop at the time. But when I first borrowed the PS2 game Dot Hack Infection from my friend, I was pleasantly surprised with my introduction into this universe. First released in the West in 2003, this game ended up literally blowing my mind for the first time since I played Final Fantasy VII. The main character, Kite, begins to play an online MMORPG known as The World. But he soon finds out this may be more than just a game, as the player who teaches him how to play this game is mysteriously attacked in-game, and Kite later finds out he has gone into a coma in real life. In search of answers, Kite embarks on an epic quest that was more than he bargained for, meeting many new memorable players in the game that he can add to his party at various points in the game depending on if they're online or not. I really enjoyed that concept of the characters truly feeling like real people who were not always available for you to add to your party at a given time. What I found the coolest concept about this game, and the reason I said it was so mind-blowing, was the fact that it was not just one full-scale JRPG, but actually 4 games, all one after the other. Like, you could seriously play all 4 of these games as basically one huge game. And they were all full-scale, multiple-hour playthrough games. They had so much content in each game, but basically it was like playing one super-duper long game. It's like the old 4-disc games back on the PS1, except for the discs are a lot longer. You know, like probably the size of one of those games each. It was pretty mind-blowing stuff. I was like really taken aback by that whole concept when I found out that this was just the first game in, a series. But that's all one game, basically. So when I finally finished Infection after a week of playing it straight, staying up all night, absolutely just so into this game, I had to bring it back to my friend, but then he handed me Mutation to play next. My character's levels and all my items, they all carried over to this game, and I began a whole new journey where in addition to my current cast of party members, I would meet more amazing faces and unlock even more possibilities for team building. It was truly one of the neatest concepts I had ever seen at the time, and something that's still very unique to this series as far as I can tell. I'm anxiously wondering if this concept will be seen again in Final Fantasy VII Remake project. I guess we'll have to wait and see for that. But I to this day yearn for these 4 games to be brought to modern platforms, for me to experience again and for other people to experience for the first time. In 2017, Bandai Namco released the sequel series, Dot Hack GU, as a remastered collection called Last Recode. But for the fans of the original 4 Dot Hack games, we're still left waiting to see Kite and his friends again, and their original journey. Perhaps we're closer than ever though, with the 20-year anniversary. The time is better than ever for them to announce a remake or remaster of Kite's wonderful journey. Number 4. Skies of Arcadia for GameCube. When I first received a Sega Dreamcast console in 2000, one of the first games I remember 9-year-old me seeing was Skies of Arcadia. I did not get to finish the game, as I only borrowed it. Yes, I constantly borrowed a lot of cool games from cooler people when I was younger. This beautiful air pirate adventure was a true masterpiece of its time nonetheless, and I did get a hold of it again years later on the GameCube when it was re-released as Skies of Arcadia Legends. Now this game I would definitely love to see a full-scale remake of course. I mean, the name of this video is games that I want to see remade, but sometimes you can get away with an upscaling or a remastering, but since they've already released this again before as a remaster, I would love to see the next incarnation of this game be the Skies of Arcadia remake. Now the absolute scope and scale of this game and its memorability to this day is no surprise, considering the team working on this game also worked on the Phantasy Star series, as well as the Sakura Wars series, and even Sonic the Hedgehog. It was in phenomenal hands from the very start. This game proved that Sega was still a strong force in the JRPG world, and it holds a very special place in my heart, with a beautiful soundtrack composed by Miyuki Minabe and Tatsuyuki Maeda. I wouldn't put it on par with like the Final Fantasy games, but it's actually really, really good music. I mean, most Sega games do have really, really beautiful music. If this game were to be remade in modern graphics, I think it would be absolutely phenomenal. I'm not saying that the game doesn't hold up anymore, because I mean, it still does. I played it not that long ago, and it was still quite fun, but seeing this game getting the full-on HD current graphics and with new gameplay mechanics implemented, I think it could be even more fantastic than it already is. There is some hope for this, as back in 2012, Sega did renew the rights to the series, the trademark to the series, but nothing really materialized. But there's been talk of a sequel for many years, and the developer himself says that he would love to work on another game in this series. So maybe one day we'll see Vice and his friends and Glorious HD, or on a whole new journey, but I really would love to see the original story retold once more. Number 3. Persona 2, Innocent Sin and Eternal Punishment for PlayStation 1. The Persona series has really blown up on the mainstream front in the recent years in a staggering way, with Persona 4 and 5 being met with critical acclaim and drawing in a massive amount of new fans, the latter game especially. There is no better time to be a Persona fan than now. We have seen recent remasters of other games within the Shin Megami Tensei series, such as SMT Nocturne and Strange Journey. And we are now getting Persona 3 Portable on modern consoles. And with the current 25th anniversary celebration, we were given at least a sort of confirmation that Atlus haven't completely forgotten about the Persona 1 and Persona 2 characters, but it remains to be seen if we'll actually be seeing Maya, Tetsuya, Balfu, and the others again anytime soon. If ever again. But, you know, dreamers can dream, and imagining these beautiful characters and this amazing adventure in modern day graphics and with modern day gameplay mechanics really gets me excited, like I'm Ulala or Maya ready to kick some ass. I enjoy still playing these games to this day, but they really have aged a lot and not in a good way. I definitely do not enjoy the dungeons for the most part, the layouts of it, and the battling system is okay, it's okay, but once again, like, a lot of this stuff is very archaic, and I think these characters in this story are far too good to be forgotten about, and they deserve to have their story told. Plus, I want to see Philemon again. We've seen him in butterfly form so many times now, but I mean, we haven't seen original Philemon. What happened to our boy, man? Bring our boy back. Come on, bring him home. You can keep Hitler, though. Number 2. Xenogears for PlayStation 1. The Xeno prefix in recent years has become tied to the phenomenal Nintendo series Xenoblade Chronicles, but long before that there existed a little PS1 game called Xenogears, a game that at one time in its development was supposed to be Final Fantasy VII. Our protagonist, an abandoned boy, Fei Fong Wong, in his incredibly unforgettable journey left an indelible mark on the genre. A lot like other epic tales, it began as one simple thing and escalates quickly into an epic and emotional adventure, with a diverse cast of characters, playable and non-playable. This game was almost perfect. I say almost because while it combined fun, normal turn-based human battles and badass mech battles with an incredible story that featured some heavy themes not at the time really seen in video games, it is only brought down by its rushed second disc. which many have already covered before, but basically the whole second act of this otherwise fantastic experience becomes basically a visual novel, where you basically are just watching the last few scenes of the game and doing the last few battles in the game. You're not really doing dungeons, you're not exploring things, it's not anything like the first disc, and this was actually done to meet deadlines. Then originally Squaresoft, the staff there, they just pitched that the game should just end at the end of disc 1, but creator Tetsuya Takahashi felt like his original vision for the story still needed to be seen through somehow, thus the second disc that we ended up getting. Now I feel that Tetsuya Takahashi, being the creator of the series, who would later leave Square to found Monolith Soft, should totally try to get Xenogears IP from Square Enix at the very least, or try to collaborate with them on a remake of this breathtaking and revolutionary JRPG experience. Much like the other games on this list, the timing seems to be everything. The Xenoblade games are so beloved right now and popular that now would be a fantastic time to introduce the world to Fei Fong Wong's Odyssey once again. Number 1. Parasite Eve for PlayStation 1. Dubbed as the cinematic RPG, Parasite Eve had me captivated from its opening movie and first cutscene. This game perfectly blended survival horror elements seen in games like Resident Evil with RPG elements to create an unforgettable experience. Let me first say, Parasite Eve is my all-time favorite video game. This game is so special to me, and the book and movie by the same name, which are a prequel to this story, are both awesome as well. The music in this game is absolutely breathtaking. Yoko Shimomura did a phenomenal job composing this soundtrack, and she would later be heard again on games like Kingdom Hearts and Final Fantasy XV. The game follows police detective Aya Brea, which starts as a normal day off for her on a date to the opera, turns into so much more when she encounters Mitochondria Eve, a powerful being inhabiting the body of opera singer Melissa Pierce. This game follows Aya as she pursues this mitochondrial menace through New York, visiting real-life locations such as Central Park, among many others. This game was also where I learned what mitochondria was long before I ever did in school, or before that became a meme. It also made me really interested in New York as well, with its haunting music, intriguing story, and disturbing cutscenes, along with sporting a unique battle system and a very cool and fun weapon customization system that's pretty easy once you get the hang of. Parasite Eve was another revolutionary game in a golden age of JRPGs, once again made by Squaresoft, now known as Square Enix. While a sequel does exist for the PS1 as well, it was not quite as good, but it's still pretty fun. But after that, the series was never revisited again. Never revisited again. However, in 2019, Square Enix did register the Parasite Eve trademark in Europe. The series still remains dormant to this day, without so much as a peep made apart from hope and speculation. But I hold out hope that one day we will all be watching a Square Enix event and see the Square Enix logo pop up on our screens, followed by the haunting melodies of Yoko Shimomura's piano. And on that day, we will all rejoice. This has been Wu-Tai Clan Gaming, and I hope you have enjoyed the video. What are some RPGs you would like to see remade? Let me know in the comments below. And be sure to give this video a like and subscribe for more JRPG content, and we will see you later in the story.